Hello and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. And if you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Chariot. And we have the Nine of Wands. Interesting. We have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. A lot of start-stop energy here. Fast moving and then stuck. Between the starting and stopping, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, which indicates that the ball is going to be rolling. This is a card of karma being cleared, of fortunes changing. This is a card of seasons. So things blooming, and then, the winter time when we have harvest and then things die off, and then blooming and harvest and dying off. And what I'm seeing here between that and then the Chariot, which is also a fast moving energy, we have the Two of Pentacles, which has to do with balance and things kind of yo-yoing back and forth. And then we have these sort of two cards here where the Eight of Swords is kind of feeling stuck, not moving, and the Nine of Wands is having hope for the future, but kind of still feeling stuck and not moving. So what's interesting here, and what I keep hearing, is that you need to stay fluid. Some of you struggle because you haven't gotten used to the idea that things happen in seasons, and that things sometimes take time to bloom. You have to sort of nurture the seeds, plant them, allow them to grow. You don't get the blossom before the stem grows. But some of you are kind of still in this impatient energy. And so what happens is you're still in these high highs and low lows of things moving very fast and then things sort of stagnating, because the fast-paced movement is not sustainable because there's no consistency. Things need to even out a little bit more in order for there to be more consistent movement and progress forward, instead of a lot of movement or no movement at all. And this has to do with some of you getting impatient. And we have the Empress on the table, which is funny because I actually keep hearing that some of you need to be drinking more water. Like, you literally need to be more fluid. But the Empress also has to do with balance. We have the 3 here, which has to do with a coming together of the mind, body, and soul. 3 also is the number of supreme balance. And we have the Two of Pentacles, which has to do with balance. And we have the Chariot, which has to do with balance. Light and dark, masculine and feminine energies. The Empress is a very feminine energy, though. This is the energy of creativity, of nurturing. So ultimately, when you get into these impatient modes, your feminine energy is either being doused or it's overruling everything else because you're allowing your boredom or your emotions to kind of get the best of you. Once you figure out how to nurture and be patient, that's when things shift into a different sort of energy, and that requires less control. The Empress nurtures her garden, but she doesn't sit there and control how the plant grows, in terms of she doesn't dictate to the plant and then the plant then follows what she says. It's more of she's there, she waters when needed, she fertilizes when needed, those types of things, but there's also a lot of patience here. The Empress can literally be a card of being pregnant. To put that in kind of perspective with this reading, when you're pregnant, you are creating a baby, right? But it takes 9 months for a human being to create a baby. It's kind of the same thing here. It's like there's this waiting energy, but something is actually happening because the baby's still forming, but you feel like you're, as the parent, waiting for the baby to come out. That's kind of sort of the way that this whole energy is here, with this like starting and stopping. The times when you think you're not making progress, you actually are. It's just your impatience, your boredom, or your need for validation that's causing you to feel like nothing's moving. But when you start to fall deeper into that energy and make impulsive decisions, then the energy starts going all over the place. Instead of steadily moving forward, we're suddenly getting these massive spikes up and down. It's all about seasons. So it's the same as with being pregnant. You are building something, but there's consistent building. There's days when sometimes you're going to need to rest more. There's days when it's going to feel like you're going to have growing pains, but then there's going to be days when you don't have any pain at all and it feels like nothing's actually happening. Then there's days when baby kicks you in the stomach. The point I'm making here is all of this is part of the process, and it's all a natural process. Some of you are fearing sort of the winter time, but you're not looking forward to the fact that everything has cycles and there's a beauty in endings because it creates new beginnings. Just like there is beauty in the waiting period. Sometimes when you're in that period where you have to allow things to sort of grow on their own, you have the ability to take a break or whatever, but you're not actually taking advantage of the cycles. You're always constantly going. So you're actually missing the beauty of the different pieces of the cycles here. I'm not a parent, but a lot of people who have children talk about how there's certain beauties of being pregnant. It's sort of the same thing. When you are moving through your life, there's going to be certain beauty in the parts where it seems more mundane, but you have to find it. And part of it is being present and acknowledging and seeing the value there in the first place. Some of you really need to release your control over the outcome. A lot of you keep trying to force certain things to happen, and it's actually making it harder for you to move forward. It's creating more obstacles, more limiting beliefs, and it's not allowing things to naturally grow and play out. Specifically at this time, for those of you who are in the pregnant pause stage, literal or not, there's going to be the availability to you to see things from a different perspective at this time, but it's going to require you to look at these pieces that make you feel a little bit more uncomfortable, like maybe the sitting still or the taking rest or the relaxation or taking time for creativity, whatever it is, differently. You need to stay fluid and go with the flow instead of trying to control the flow of the river. You need to be part of the rapids, part of the current. Allow yourself to adapt to the different ebbs and flows naturally in your life, naturally in your success. And when you learn to do that, you will be able to access a lot of creativity and a lot of your divine feminine energy in a way that's going to allow you to manifest things differently and be in a different energy moving forward. So your affirmation for this reading is, I relinquish control of every outcome and every piece of the manifestation and allow things to fall into place naturally. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.